Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Shorties. This is Dave with the Bass Channel. Today, we're looking at a cameo appearance from a vintage short scale bass. So let's take a look at this bass. This is a vintage bass that is branded Cameo, and it's probably from the late 60s, maybe early 70s. The thing about Cameo basses is nobody on the internet seems to be able to agree on where exactly they came from, who they were made by, etc. Nick, who owns this bass, this is Nick's bass, don't tell him. He says that he assumes it's a Teisco, as in Teisco Del Rey, as in several well-known guitar and bass shapes and styles from the late 60s, early 70s, etc. But some people think that these were made by Kawai. Some people think that these were made by a company called Sakai Woodworking. All we know is that it is an old bass, and it is a short scale, and it's a lot of fun to play. So, we don't really know what woods, we don't really know what hardware, we don't really know what pickups, but we've got a couple of big chunky single coils, sort of in a jazz bass configuration, with individual on and off switches. That was pretty popular back then. You've got a master volume and a master tone, and a front mounted jack. You've got a cool ashtray cover over the bridge, and surprisingly, the neck is bound. You've actually got binding along the fret ends. So you don't have any fret sprout or any of that to deal with. And you've got some pretty cool square/rectangle inlays on the presumably rosewood fretboard. The truss rod access is via a slot here at the heel, at the end of the neck, which is very cool, and you can adjust it just like you can a Music Man bass. And you got a good old tug bar there, so if you want to hang onto it with your fingers and thump with your thumb, you're covered. I have no idea what kind of tuning machines these are, but they're sealed, which is kind of nice, and it's got not only a string tree that goes all the way across all four strings, but it's got a nice car-style badge on the headstock instead of a decal. And that does it for another episode of Shorties. Thanks for tuning into this guest appearance of this bass. My name's Dave. This is the Bass Channel. We'll catch you next time.